What are you talking about? I have no idea. Like, can you start at the beginning?
Today, I'm like, you need the one with the tree on it. Look for the one with the tree.
Like, what one with the tree? What are you talking about?
Like, but in my mind, I was like, I've already told you this because it was in my head and we had this whole conversation. So I don't understand why you don't get it.
Welcome to the Resilient Christian Podcast. This is a show where we look at communication and pair it with faith, following Jesus Christ to be the people that he's called us to be. Today, we're talking about getting each other's back in a relationship, in organizations, and communities. Sometimes that's really hard.
Yeah, but before we go on, I want to say that was a really good introduction. That was spot on. Really good.
See, that's resilience, network building, communication, positivity 101 in a proactive format. You know, and I just want to tell you that if you find any value in me, seriously, I'm joking around a little bit, but it's because every single day you tell me I have value in little ways over and over and over again. You say like, hey, you look good, or your hair looks phenomenal, or you're really smart, you help people, your students love you. And I walk out the door feeling like Superman because you make me Superman. You want to make a big difference in someone's life? Sincerely give them this feedback, this inspiration every single day.
You know what you do for me?
What?
You, every single class that you have, at some point, you'll call me and FaceTime me during the day, and you'll put me on FaceTime in front of your students, and you will say exactly that in front of your students, and it makes me feel so good because you're like, you tell them right to my face when I'm right there on the phone, you're like, this girl gets my back, and oh, I love that. Every time you do it, I love it.
Yeah, I'll be in my class at Texas A&M University, and I'm teaching students. I'll be like, hey, let me tell you about my wife. She's pretty awesome. And like, oh, you want to talk with her? I'll FaceTime her right now. And they're always like, yeah, do it. And so I'll dial her up and I'll show her on the phone to all my students and all that. And I'm like, hey, babe, what's going on and all that? You know, and we're talking and everything. And then I'll be like, yeah, so what's for dinner tonight? You know?
Yeah, and we have this fun, joking, goofy interchange, and I love that. And I love that you do that all the time. It makes me feel so special. Like the fact that you want to show me off to your students, like, oh my gosh, that is, I can't even tell you how much that just makes me feel so good.
It's because you look good and you are an amazing person.
Well, thank you, because it makes me like actually kind of tear up.
I wanted to start this conversation by saying I have some value and confidence and resilience because my wife, you, always get my back every single day. And that starts in a number of ways, okay? It makes a huge difference as far as like a man, a husband going out into the world and finding some strength in themselves. I'm telling you right now, it's because you, Lara, always tell me, number one, I'm smart, I look good, I help people, and when I go out into the world every single day, starting with that, you literally telling me these things, it is different than if you were nitpicking at me, because I see that happening in a lot of different relationships and marriages to where it's like somebody will nitpick every single day, and it's like, can you imagine the difference that makes?
Right, but I feel like that's something that we've learned. And we have had to really work on for years because I didn't always get your back. I wasn't always like encouraging because my focus was on me or making myself look good. And I had to really work on understanding that our relationship was more important than proving I was better than you in public.
Imagine, if you will, you are a man and you want to go out into the world to make a difference. And you've got someone who gets your back, okay? Every day, Laura's like, hey, you look awesome. You look good. You are smart. Look at this degree that you have.
Well, it's easy for me, though, because you do look good. I mean, you're very good looking. So every morning I wake up and I'm like, you're all like, you have like these awesome outfits on. And of course, your hair is gorgeous. And I'm just like, wow, you look good. Like it comes out of me. It's not even something I have to try. Just like, I'm like, wow, you look good.
Okay, so perhaps that's true, but the honest part of that is it is because of what you have done to build me up. And a lot of the times I will see other couples or relationships or friends even to where you have one person and a little bit of attention is put on them and someone else like their friend or their wife or somebody cuts them down in front of other people. And you can tell that's just how the relationship goes. Like commonly, it's about them cutting each other down.
Right. And it's like, oh, we're just joking and it's just a joke. But I do think that those things start to build up over time where it can deteriorate from your confidence. And it's so much better to be complimentary or to support your spouse. Although I don't think it's easy. I don't know why, but I feel like it's much easier to jokingly cut people down. And you have to really teach yourself to not do that.
Yeah, I totally agree. So like what we want to do with this podcast is help people be resilient in life and in their walk of faith by following Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways you do that is through like communication with yourself and with others. And one of the first and easiest ways to do that is you look at your partner and you're like, you look beautiful, you look awesome, you're strong, you're intelligent. And I can tell you right now, I feel these things in me because Lara does that for me every single day. That's one of the things that I've learned from her. She straight up tells me I look good. And like over time, here I am, because she's built me up. And I don't see a lot of other people doing that. I don't see couples doing that. I work with students across Texas A&M University, and you don't see them really going out saying, hey, man, you look great, because it takes a lot of confidence in yourself to be able to look at someone else and say, you look good. You're very smart. I get a lot from the things that you do, but yet that communication is so important as far as building that network of support just among like someone you have a relationship with.
Have you ever been like out in public and someone compliments you like, oh, I love your dress, or, your hair looks really nice, and it has so much impact. Like it feels so good when random person compliments you. But imagine if you get that every single day from your spouse or your boyfriend or your significant other who every day says, you look good to me. You are strong. I love what you say. I love your thoughts. Like we take it for granted, I think sometimes, that they just know, oh, he just knows that I think he looks good. But you really have to like verbalize that and put it out vocally.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I'm not really good at. I've had to learn from you is like I will think something in my head, and maybe this is a guy thing, but I will think something in my head. Like Lara will walk into a room and I'll be like, oh, she looks really cute today. Her hair looks really full and dark brown and beautiful, and I won't say it. Why I don't say it, I don't know. Maybe it's because I have a lot of mental issues going on up here. I have insecurities. I'm thinking about tons of other things, but like I will think it in my head, but I don't process it and say it. And I think that is kind of a man thing. So one of the things
I don't know, because I have entire conversations with you in my head. Like we will go through an entire conversation, you and me, and then you're like, well, you never really talked to me. I'm like, but I just had an entire conversation with you in my head.
Yes. So how do you make a marriage work? How do you build resilience within a relationship or when like husband and wife or people in general, organization, when it's like you have all these factors going on, like I think something in my head, but I don't say it out loud. Why don't I say it out loud? I don't know, but it's something I'm working on.
Well, and then this is something I do. I process a ton of stuff in my head, and then I get to one point and I tell you that point and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, because I have all this stuff that I've worked through, all these steps I've gone through from A to C, and then I present C to you and you're like, what are you even talking about?
I'm like, I need context. I think we're shopping for some kind of plate or something for Christmas for someone in our family. And you're like, oh, you're looking for this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. Like, can you start at the beginning?
Today, I'm like, you need the one with the tree on it. Look for the one with the tree on it.
What one with the tree? What are you talking about?
Like, but in my mind, I was like, I've already told you this because it was in my head and we had this whole conversation. So I don't understand why you don't get it.
You want resilience. You want strength in a dynamic relationship or organization. One of the first things is you tell people or your other person, your partner, your wife, your husband, what you value about them, okay? Catch yourself doing the opposite. And I realize there's a lot in relationships that we have to bicker about and cut each other down about. But what if you started every single day by telling your partner, your husband, your wife, I love you. You look great today. Your hair looks full and amazing. Your eyes look so beautiful in that outfit, It makes a huge difference. These little things, they matter. It's like we all want to swallow that one pill that will make everything magically better. But the truth is, to find resilience, to have a dynamic relationship, it starts by doing the little things every single day. And number one that I know you do for me every single day is you tell me I look good. And you literally say it every single day. If I didn't have that, I would not have the confidence that I have now. And I want to put it back on you, the audience, right now, because I see that a lot in the opposite form. I see a lot where couples will cut each other down, or students or friends or people in an organization in front of people will cut each other down. And I know, like, okay, there's insecurities, there's humor and some things like that. But if you switch it over to the sincere, positive compliment, it really helps to bolster a network of support. You want to talk about resilience? That's what keeps me going, is she gets my back every single day. So number one, you tell things to each other proactively. Number two, when you are in public, you don't cut each other down.
Right. You have to be a unit. And I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with. But you have to make the decision, even if you're frustrated with your spouse, even if they do something that you know is wrong, like, you don't call them out right there. You have to just be like, okay, we're going to talk about this later. And I think that other people may not see the back end work of what you're doing to communicate, but you cannot have that conversation in public.
A lot of times you want to just correct someone in front of people, and that's understandable. Like, maybe you might be hurt by a comment that was a little bit off by someone in your organization, but it's really important that you do those things in private, to where there's a safe space and you have that conversation and trust is built. When you cut someone down or you make a correction in public, it's really difficult to have that trust and to have that environment of just positive support. Okay, so let's talk about what happened to us today. What was our communication misfire that happened?
You have days that are great, and then you have days that just from beginning to end is one misfire after another, and it's constantly putting out fires. So this was a huge mistake I made, and I had to really apologize. But Andrew has a song on his album, and it's called "You're Worth the Wait."
Oh yeah, so we're out to dinner, and we're all excited talking about my new album that's going to come out here in a bit. And there's a song that's really important. It means a lot to me. And we're sitting there, and she looks at the title.
You are worth the wait. And he spelled it W-E-I-G-H-T. And I laughed. I was like, look at how you spelled wait.
Oh, yeah, this is good. This is a perfect example, okay? So automatically I get upset because that song means a lot to me. I put a lot into that song, okay? And like, I spelled it wait on purpose because it's heavy. Like, the burden of waiting and carrying the responsibility of waiting for someone to be the person that you need them to be. And it's like, but also waiting over a period of time for them. So when we're out to lunch today in public, and Lara, like, to me, the initial reaction is she's laughing at me, thinking I'm stupid for spelling it wrong.
I did.
And I'm like, guy, okay, I have a PhD. I spelled it right, okay, on purpose the way I wanted to spell it, or at least I Googled it. You know what I mean?
I just never realized it was W-E-I-G-H-T. And Andy it upset him, obviously, because this is something that's so important to him.
No, because the way you did it was, the wait.
I know, it was terrible.
Like you're dumb.
Look at how you spelled wait. And
that's pretty much how you did it.
I know.
Table, in front
I know.
Of everyone.
It was a very crowded restaurant, and it was a personal attack because, like Andy said, this song means a lot to him. He put a lot into it, and I never saw the title written out. I thought it was wait, like W-A-I-T, like you're worth waiting for. And that came across as a huge attack.
So we have to, in this moment when we're at a restaurant in public, we had to come through this moment where I was upset, and then my reaction upset you, because it's like I wish I would have been patient enough to be like, no, actually, I spelled it that way and explained it on purpose, but because I felt like you were attacking me and my intelligence, I attacked you immediately. And so it's like we had to figure this thing out right there on the spot.
And I did my typical shutdown. I just looked away. I quit eating.
How's that
I
go,
just
boy?
started sulking. But also, that does give me time to process too. Like, I'm working through in my head, and of course, immediately I feel like you're terrible and you're awful and for doing that to me. But then, with a few moments, and I really appreciated that you didn't push anything. You gave me some time to just kind of sulk, and I realized, wow, that was awful what I did to you. Like, this is a song that is important to you. You put a lot into, and I laughed at you, and I had to apologize. And it felt terrible.
No, and I had to apologize too, because my initial reaction was, you hurt me, and so I got back at you immediately, and I don't want to do that. I don't like to do that because of how much you get my back. So it's a moment in time where we have to really depend on the trust of our relationship, and all the times before this to where we have built each other up. So we're sitting there for a moment in the restaurant at lunch today, and I'm like, we start to have the conversation, and I try to open her back up a bit because she's completely shut down because I hurt her back, and it's like, okay, well, here's why I wrote the song this way. That title is for two reasons. It's for the weight, waiting for time, but also the heavy load, like standing on a scale, the burden weight on you. And that's why I put that title like that. And then I had to explain, when you laughed at me, it made me feel like you were saying I'm stupid, which, we all have insecurities. We all have things we're working through. And because you are so supportive and you get my back all the time, it really hurt me because you're the one that I depend on to get my back. But when you said, basically what I heard you say was, I'm stupid for spelling it wrong, that hurt me because you're the one who supports me. So I had to recognize, okay, this is what happened. My pain is here. But I'm going to be the one who apologizes. I don't know if I was first, but I'm going to apologize for my reaction because you're the one who always gets my back, and I trust you. So there has to be a reason why this came out. And so from me, I think apologizing and saying my initial reaction wasn't great, then we started to build from there. But it also does take Lara saying, okay, maybe I understand why he was upset, and I trust him, and we're going to work through this. And so from there, you had to understand and adapt and apologize for,
Yeah. And I went from, I'm not going to eat my salad. I'm not going to eat my dinner. I'm just going to sit here and sulk. That's where I go. That's the spot where I go. It's I'm just going to sit here and feel sorry for myself. And Andy, that's something you have to deal with is I do that all the time. That's my go-to. And you really are good at pulling me out. And I really appreciated your patience today with just giving me a moment to be that way. But then I definitely realized, and I hate being wrong. I hate it. I can't stand it. But I was. The way I reacted to the way you spelled wait was horrible. It was, and I just saw it as a joke and ha 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 laughing, but it had a huge impact on you. And I think that's something we need to understand as a spouse or a significant other is sometimes what you think is just a joke, it can have a huge impact on someone, a very negative impact. And when that happens, you have to own it, even though it feels awful to have to do that.
Yeah. So number one, you're getting each other's back every day by building each other up, literally talking out loud, complimenting each other. Number two, when you're in public, you don't cut each other down. And our conversation today was a big one, to where we're talking about a back and forth miscommunication on the title of a song. But also there's so many times that I see people in public to where they're you can tell underneath they're upset with their spouse or upset with someone in their organization. And so they'll cut them down, give them a nitpicky dig in front of people. And it's that doesn't work. If you did that to me, if Lara, you did that to me, and in front of people, you kind of dig at me and say, well, your guts hanging over your belt a little bit there, guy. I hear people do that sort of thing to each other, and it's you don't do that to me, thankfully, because your goal is to support me and make me the man that you want. I am the man that you want because you build me up. And then I, in turn, want to be that guy for you. And so my encouragement for people watching this is, if you want your organization, if you want your students, if you want your relationship, your partner, your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend to be the person you want them to be, it is really important that daily you tell them the good things and you reinforce those positive things about them and you tell them. And the opposite is very important as well. In front of people, don't cut them down. It makes a huge impact. You want them to be Superman or Superwoman, tell them they're Superman or Superwoman in front of other people. And that's what Lara does for me. It's communication 101. You want them to be something, tell them they are, and they'll go that direction.
Yeah, and I feel like we really have both worked very hard to do that for each other. But I just feel like the biggest thing is, like Andy said, you build each other up, but you do not tear each other down. You really focus on becoming the person who builds your spouse, your friend, whoever up to be the person that you want them to be.